Okay.
Move forward, then we're out of focus.
I'm not used to this.
we're
Okay.
good.
Yeah, we can see your pores.
Oh man. Mixing is taking, assuming you have a multi-track recording, mixing is taking all the individual discrete tracks and mixing them together for some kind of, mixed output, whether that's a stereo mix or some people do mono mixes, there's surround mixes. But regardless, it's some way of combining everything into a balance and a sound that is appropriate for the piece or the project. Mastering is taking that final product and preparing it for distribution to the outside world. Some elements of quality control, that might be like just kind of going through with a fine-tooth comb and listening for little noises, little irregularities, things that need to be kind of tamed or enhanced. It also involves setting the levels for all of the tracks so that they play evenly when you listen to the whole album. From track to track, nothing sticks out as sounding unusually loud or unusually quiet, and also just trying to make the whole thing sound like a record. If you have a large ensemble piece that's recorded in a big hall, and then a duo that sounds very tight and very close, to some extent that kind of makes sense, right? Because you feel like and also musically they're very different. So, each thing kind of becomes its own world, and it's not like we had 3 low brass trios, but so it's the same instrumentation, but everyone was in a totally different space. And it's like, why are they changing? With this, it makes a little bit of sense because they're all different. Musically, they're different orchestrationally. So that variety kind of goes with the variation in the different tracks, and that's okay. And then just the big thing is different spaces, and what comes with different spaces. One of the kind of, for me, core axioms of audio is that you can always add reverb, but it's very, very hard, if not impossible, to take it away. And so if you record in a big room and you really hear the room, and then you have something that was recorded in a much smaller space that's pretty dry, the only thing you can do if you want to actually try to make them sound similar is add reverb onto the drier thing. Before the shutdown, I relied much more on outboard gear, both obviously for recording and tracking, using those tools on the way into the recorder, but also I would use that stuff very freely for mixing and mastering duties. But now, I was forced to work completely in the box during the shutdown, and they both have their advantages, honestly. And I think for me, a big silver lining of the shutdown was being forced to learn how to work completely in the computer and not have any of these tools at my disposal, and then learn the ways that can, depending on the project and the material, that can totally be advantageous.